Welcome to Climbing Together, the small business experience. I'm Beth Houtrow, founder of Climb the Small Business Book Club, and every episode I talk to a small business owner about a mistake that they've made and what they learned from the experience. Mistakes are inevitable, perfection's impossible, so let's embrace the mistake. And today we're so excited to welcome Erica Lovecraft to the podcast. Erica, tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Hi, Beth. Thanks for having me. I am a copywriter. My business is called Flynn Writes because my last name used to be Flynn. And I specialize in working with business and life coaches, helping them attract the right clients to them and make them more money.
Nice. And for the viewers who don't know what copywriting is,
yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean?
Copywriting is writing to persuade. So persuading your audience to do something, like to click or to buy or to sign up to your newsletter. All of that is copywriting, and encouraging your audience to see the value in what you're doing, what you're selling, whatever, and making them believe that it will improve their lives. And the way that I see this is, it's not salesy. It's doing that. It's just telling them what exists and why they should want it, and being true to that. I believe in coaches, which is why I work with them. I think they're always aiming to help people be their best selves. So it's easy to write for them because I believe in that mission.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. But as always, we're here to talk about mistakes. So talk to me about a mistake that you made with your business and what you learned from that.
Well, I did work with one particular coach, and for whatever reason, and I still don't know, I think it was just a worldview difference. She had a very different view of maybe just what she wanted, or I don't know. I think it was a mismatch of personality, maybe, or writing style. She had very exacting ideas on what she thought made good writing, and we did not agree on that, which made it tricky. So I spent a lot of time trying to adjust my writing style to adhere to her specifications. Didn't get it right after a few tries, and finally I just I don't want to say I gave up, but I said, this is it. This isn't working. So sorry. And I always try to pass the client on to the right person for the job. So I did provide her someone to follow up with, but just, I feel like it's a communication issue, and if something in your gut is telling you that this isn't going to work, you should listen to your gut because it doesn't lie.
Absolutely. I was just looking at some income I was doing a P&L for something, and I was getting income from a client that I worked with for 2 months, and the whole time was like, I don't want to do this. This isn't right. We don't work the same way. We don't have the same, way of executing things, and it's making me crazy. And I did. I lasted for 2 months. Then I was like, I'm sorry, I can't keep doing this work. How have you, have you created any systems, or how do you now vet your clients? How do you kind of decide if they would be a good match?
Yeah, we just talk for a while. And honestly, it's just all about talking and seeing if you have that connection, that vibe, and listening to myself, honestly, and trusting that gut feeling. And sometimes as entrepreneurs, I feel like we go after any available work, especially sometimes with the economy being the way it is. But in the long run, and even the short run, it's not good for you to work for the wrong people. And the right person for that client is out there. It just, maybe it's just not you, and it's not me.
And the right person for you is out there, right? It just might not be.
Yeah. And those people exist, so it's just a matter of finding them.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so this podcast is brought to us by Climb the Small Business Book Club, and our two tenets are continual learning and community. So on the continual learning front, I know you have a book that you've enjoyed. Talk to me about that book.
I recently read We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers, and
Mhm.
she is amazing. I feel like this book has really opened up some horizons, just mental horizons of like, oh, I could actually be a millionaire. Like a lot of
Mhm.
other people did it. Madam C.J. Walker, she talks about Madam C.J. Walker, um, was the first woman millionaire, a
Self-made. Yeah.
millionaire, a self-made millionaire. Um, and she was
20s.
in, yeah, she was like
Yeah.
the child of freed slaves. She was the only child born free. So a black woman was the first self-made millionaire in the United States. Out of, of all the circumstances in life, she had no advantages built into her birth. Right? She was able to
Yeah.
do this. So me being a white woman in modern day,
Yeah.
clearly I should be able to do this too. This is, yeah, like it, like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah. And it's very inspiring that, a lot of people have been able to do it, and just got to put your mind to it.
Well, and I love about that book that she talks about as women, we should aspire to have wealth because when we
Mm-hmm.
have wealth, we get to make decisions about how we spend it, right? Whether
Right.
it's for giving, for charity, for all those kind of things. We, if we're the major donors in the world, which we are, then shouldn't we have more money so that there are more donations, more giving, that kind of thing. And Alelia Bundles is the great granddaughter of Madam C.J. Walker, and she wrote a book called On Her Own Ground, which is amazing.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a historical kind of documentation of Madam C.J. Walker's story. But if you want to
Nice.
ever get
Thank
deeper into
you.
that, yeah. But no, I really enjoyed We Should All Be Millionaires. And yeah, I from the Midwest, which I know you're from. I kind of feel like I'm not supposed to want to have a lot of money and like all those kind of things. And yeah, I was like, oh wait, you're right. If I do have money, then I can still do good things with it. It doesn't have to be me being, like an opulent lifestyle and I don't know, all the fanfare of wealth. I can still
Right.
be me, that money. Yeah.
Yeah, money just amplifies who you are. It doesn't.
Right.
From what I've read, I'm not a rich person. From what I've read, uh, I'm going to become a rich person. But from what I've read, it doesn't really change you. It just brings out more of who you are.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice. Okay. Well, so we'll check in a year to see if we're millionaires yet.
excellent. Plenty of time.
Not plenty of time. I play the lottery. Oh wait, no, I don't play the lottery.
I totally play the lottery.
Well, you might get there first. Okay. Okay. And on the other subject there on community, talk to me about how you've built community of other entrepreneurs to support you and inspire you and just kind of help you along the way.
Yeah, I don't remember. Well, several people. This was over a year and a half ago. Several people mentioned the Idea Collective to me, and I think it was like the fourth or fifth person was said, "Oh, you should join the Idea Collective." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I went ahead and I joined the Idea Collective, uh, run by Pat Miller, and it's a community for entrepreneurs to support each other in business and just kind of in life. And it's a very supportive place. It's not really for networking or like soliciting business. It's for
Right.
being supportive of one another and having those people in your life who get what you're doing. Because
Right.
most folks are, corporate or whatever, and they don't understand the whole entrepreneurial journey. Um, so it's good to just have those people in your corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, and I found the Idea Collective, having lived in California for many years and then joining. Um, Not poor Pat was like, no, it's not specific to the Midwest, but it's real Midwest, right? If you have that kind of Midwest vibe, you are gonna really like the Idea Collective. It is built out of Milwaukee, I think, and definitely has that kind of Midwest friendliness to it.
It
And so
is.
I don't know if someone from New York would love it, but if that's kind of your personality, yeah, it definitely has, yeah, a Midwest vibe to it. And so I've really enjoyed being a part of it too.
Nice.
Um, yeah. Well, Erica, That's our podcast today. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Beth.
And today we're so excited to welcome Erica Lovecraft to the podcast. Erica, tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Hi, Beth. Thanks for having me. I am a copywriter. My business is called Flynn Writes because my last name used to be Flynn. And I specialize in working with business and life coaches, helping them attract the right clients to them and make them more money.
Nice. And for the viewers who don't know what copywriting is,
absolutely.
what
Copywriting is writing to persuade. So persuading your audience to do something, like to click or to buy or to sign up to your newsletter. All of that is copywriting, and encouraging your audience to see the value in what you're doing, what you're selling, whatever, and making them believe that it will improve their lives. And the way that I see this is, it's not salesy. It's doing that. It's just telling them what exists and why they should want it, and being true to that. I believe in coaches, which is why I work with them. I think they're always aiming to help people be their best selves. So it's easy to write for them because I believe in that mission.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. But as always, we're here to talk about mistakes. So talk to me about a mistake that you made with your business and what you learned from that.
Well, I did work with one particular coach, and for whatever reason, and I still don't know, I think it was just a worldview difference. She had a very different view of what maybe just what she wanted, or I don't know. I think it was a mismatch of personality, maybe, or writing style. She had very exacting ideas on what she thought made good writing, and we did not agree on that, which made it tricky. So I spent a lot of time trying to adjust my writing style to adhere to her specifications. Didn't get it right after a few tries, and finally I just kind of, I don't want to say I gave up, but I said, this is it. This isn't working. So sorry. And I always try to pass the client on to the right person for the job. So I did provide her someone to follow up with, but just, I feel like it's a communication issue, and if something in your gut is telling you that this isn't going to work, you should listen to your gut because it doesn't lie.
Absolutely. I was just looking at some income I was doing a P&L for something, and I was getting income from a client that I worked with for 2 months. And the whole time was like, I don't want to do this. This isn't right. We don't work the same way. We don't have the same, way of executing things. And it's making me crazy. And I did. I lasted for 2 months. Then I was like, I'm sorry, I can't keep doing this work. How have you, have you created any systems, or how do you now vet your clients? How do you kind of decide if they would be a good match?
Yeah, we just talk for a while. And honestly, it's just all about talking and seeing if you have that connection, that vibe, and listening to myself, honestly, and trusting that gut feeling. And sometimes as entrepreneurs, I feel like we go after any available work.
This podcast is brought to you by Climb the Small Business Book Club, where entrepreneurs go to learn, discuss, apply, and grow. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to subscribe at Apple, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, or follow us on Instagram at Climb Book Club. And always remember, mistakes are inevitable, perfection's impossible. So let's embrace the mistake.